at times contradicting views, but the common thread is that we both want to do business. And that's why we are shaking hands. So maybe that initially when we start negotiation, we are having diverse views, opposite views, our own steadfast field, our own opinions, but ultimately we have to compromise. We have to do settlement. We have to do agreement. It's a give and take process. It's a compromising process. Otherwise, it will be one-sided and it will be known as win-lose. But the best negotiation is known as a win-win approach. So we do every day. For example, in my home, I have one TV kept in the drawing room. I have my 90-year-old mother who will watch Sai Baba program in the evening or some serials in the evening. She watches some set programs. I will watch some news or some cricket or some sports items. My wife will watch some episodes or some TV programs. Sometimes my grandson comes, who is about 8 to 9 years old. He would like to have some game or watch some cartoon films or something like that. How do we compromise? 3-4 people. What is the solution? The solution only, it is a not a formal negotiation, but informally negotiated or compromised or settled time slots. I won't disturb my mother when she is watching the Sai Baba from 7 to 7:30 p.m. or some other slots. I won't disturb my wife. I won't disturb my grandson. Poor myself only is left out. Whatever is left out, I will take it. Because news comes all the time, so we can adjust easily. This is a part of life, my dear friends. The negotiation within the family, within the friend circle, within the company, with the supplier, is a part of life. It goes on. And you cannot live without compromising and settlement and agreement. Otherwise, there will be continuous fights. Fights means tension, sleepless nights. So settlement, compromise, and agreement is essential. Now, what are the negotiation goals? What do you want to achieve by negotiation? Quick. I think answers to this is well known. So quickly, one by one, 2-3 people can speak. I will request the people who have not spoken so far to please unmute and speak, because so that everybody gets a chance to speak. Bolliye. What are the goals of negotiation?
Our goals is to reach the target, and it should be win-win as discussed by you.
Yeah, very good. Or kuch? Anything else?
Sir, our goals should be beneficial to our company.
Pardon?
Rather than to go on as a business.
Pardon? Your
Our
voice.
goals should be beneficial to our company.
Your voice. बहुत इको ज्यादा हो रहा है. बहुत इको ज्यादा हो रहा है. हाँ, बहुत इको हो रहा है आपका.
Sir, our goals should be beneficial.
बहुत इको हो रहा है आपका.
To our company.
थोड़ा दूर से बोलिए आप. थोड़ा दूर से बोलिए आप.
It's okay, sir. Now it is okay.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Our goal, negotiation goal should be beneficial to company rather than win-win situation. because in win-win situation we are thinking about the vendor part also. So
Why only your custody?
Because after doing hold or negotiation,
Hmm.
if this is not in my favor, then the negotiation will not be successful for myself. Okay, so it should be my custody, and I will be the ultimate winner for the negotiation. This is the ultimate goal.
So you want to have a win-lose situation,
Right.
correct?
I need to win, and I need to lose my opponent.
Okay, good. That can be your view, but let us see as we progress what happens.
Okay.
Okay. So setting negotiation goals. So some of the goals I have put here, let's see. To settle a fair and reasonable price, it should be fair. Important is fair and reasonable. Neither it should be too high nor too low, but it should be reasonable and fair price. To ensure that the contract is performed on time, we must ensure while negotiating such conditions, such discussion that the vendor will perform it on time. And this is most important. A purchase manager cannot get proper sleep in the night if he knows that the material needed tomorrow in the workshop is getting delayed and it cannot be supplied. रात का नींद खराब हो जाएगा आपका, कस्टम में अटक गया है माल, या डिस्पैच नहीं हुआ है, या कुछ क्वालिटी इश्यूज आ गया है, या रिजेक्ट हो गया है. रात में परचेज मैनेजर को नींद नहीं आता. कितने बार आपके साथ हुआ है? हाउ मेनी टाइम्स इट हैज हैपेंड विद यू? इफ इट्स हैपेंड विद मी सो मेनी टाइम्स, I can't sleep.
All the times.
All the time. So our main concern, the purchase department, is my supply should be continued. It should not stop. That is because if the supply stops, then loss is very high to the company. And blame is on you. The supplier failure is blame on purchase manager or buyer. So our main negotiation goal should center around this. To exercise control over the manner in which the contract is performed. So we must control the contract or the purchase order execution. That so that all the situation, even if it is an adverse situation, it is still under control. I am able to manage. It should not go out of control. कि पूरा का पूरा material reject हो गया. There should be some warning sign. There should be some red flags. Persuade the supplier to give maximum cooperation to buyer's company. To develop cordial and long-term relationship. Now, the number 3 and number 6, very, very crucial. Why long-term relationship we are asking is because we just saw a few slides back the importance of supply chain. If the supplier link is broken, my customer is unhappy. That's why I want a long-term relationship, particularly for critical, high-value items, which will impact my production. To settle any disagreements and conflicts amicably, लड़ाई झगड़ा करके नहीं, amicably, so that again it points to win-win approach. Any win-lose thing will disappear. It is a short-lived. You can't have. अगर आप विन लूज करोगे, आप एक डील जीत लोगे, 2 डील जीत लोगे, उसके बाद में सप्लायर नाराज हो जाएगा, सप्लायर छोड़ देगा. You will have to go to somebody else. So, what is negotiation process? अभी हमने टेंडर दिया, इंक्वायरी दिया, कोटेशन आ गया है, पार्टी कल सुबह 10 बजे ऑफिस में आ रहा है निगोशिएट करने के लिए. तो व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस? कैन यू स्पेसिफाई सम स्टेप के आने से पहले? जब भी सप्लायर आएगा तब क्या करना है? जब भी till we the order and shake hands. What are the 1, 2, 3, 4 process steps? Yeah, बोलिए. Please.
At first, you should get them a good
Sir,
impression. At first, you should get them a good impression.
Good impression. Impression about what?
Like attitude, what we discussed earlier. They have to be positive to our side.
Okay.
They want to do some business or some dealings with them, and we are very positive.
Very good. और
And
बट
then-
उसका आने, सप्लायर का आने से पहले कुछ तैयारी करना है क्या हमको? Do we have to prepare something? Do we have to prepare something?
Yes, yes.
sir, we should have all the documentation ready.
Yes, yes.
क्या तैयारी करना है? What preparation we need? क्या तैयारी करना है? What preparation we need?
Technical bid comparison and commercial bid comparison, all documentation ready with all the quotations of the vendors.
Okay.
And we should have
Okay.
we should have our lowest price in there.
और कुछ? Anything else? Anything else?
I am Sri Ramakrishnan. Hello.
Yeah. बोलिए बोलिए. Please go ahead.
See, first of all, we need to understand the requirement, and we need to nature of the supplier. Whether he may be a monopoly or competitive prices are available. Then we need to start our estimation
Yeah.
and the future requirements. That into
Yeah.
the past supplies with them. These are all the things we need to consider before start the negotiation.
Okay. So, friends, I told you in the beginning, we have to be proactive. And this is the proactive process. This is the proactive step. Preparation and planning. This is very essential. The more time you devote, the more information you collect, the more ready you are with all the information and data about vendor, about product, about prices, about market, about technology, about negotiation techniques, about taxes, so many things. Preparation and planning is the first step. And the next step is opening. When the vendor comes, we have to open up. We have to tell about our business, our plans, our future plans, our expansion plans, or new products coming up. Similarly, the vendor has to share his information. What information or news he is bringing from the market. We have to keep our eyes and ears open and listen to him, because the vendor brings very important news from the market. He is our link to the market and even to our competitors. He can even bring the news of the competitors, what market, what products they are going to launch. Then he will also tell how he is expanding, what new orders he has got, who are his new clients. So he has to tell about himself and you have to tell about yourself. Then the core discussion is the heart of the discussion, for which you have to make a checklist of technical, of commercial, of legal, or any other issues involved with that particular case. Technical discussions, you have to involve your technical team person, because you may be knowledgeable about it, but you are not an expert. A purchase man is jack of all but master of none. I am supposed to have knowledge about every product, whether it's IT or technical or mechanical or electrical or hydraulic or any other thing. But I am not an expert. So because without understanding this, we can't do anything about negotiation. So when I will ask to some of you can keep your mics unmuted, who wants to answer? When did you hear about supply chain management, SCM? What was it earlier known as? When we started hearing about supply chain?
Maybe, sir, it was procurement.
Yeah. So it was earlier purchase, then the materials management came, then came the integrated materials management, because earlier all the functions like purchase, inventory management, marketing management, production management, okay, and stores management, warehouse management, they were all separate, considered as separate functions, but now they are all linked and known as supply chain. So when did you hear this word supply chain? Around which year? How many years back?
Sir, it may be 2008 to 10.
2008 to 10. Okay. Anybody else?
Heard around 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Actually, it is not only 5 years ago, it is almost 10 to 15 years ago it actually started. Maybe some people heard much later, but the supply chain concept started maybe about approximately 10 to 15 years back. Okay, and it is related with total quality management, which came to India in 1995. Now, what is this supply chain? You are seeing at the bottom of this picture a chain. And what are the various links here? The links are various functions and departments. One side is the supplier, who is always crying, and another side is customer, who is always a king. And they are linked by various internal departments, internal customers. The supplier and the customer could be the outside agencies, but still they are all linked together. So what is the strength of this chain? If you pull this chain, what will happen? From where it can break?
From
कहाँ से टूटेगा ये?
from red mark.
What is red mark? Because it is in the picture.
Middle.
Huh? Pardon? Please repeat.
If we pull the chain from both sides, so it will damage in middle.
It will break. It will break from middle. It will break from middle. Okay.
I second this, sir.
Pardon? Can you repeat?
Yeah, I second your opinion. It will break from middle.
Middle. See, middle is not the question. It will break from its weakest point. It will break from its weakest link, whether it is in middle or on one side or the other side. If you put it, and if there is a weakest link, the weak, सबसे कमजोर वाला, वहां से टूटेगा. तो सपोज ये सब पूरे डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं कंपनी में, they are all interlinked, and if you pull it, it will break. wherever is the weakest department or weakest link. Now suppose somebody has given me one item to be purchased, some motors to be purchased, some pumps to be purchased, or some electronic item to be purchased. And they say, Mr. Raj Seth, you have to bring the material for our production in about 7 to 8 weeks. Everybody has to do his or her own duty. अभी मेरे को एक टेंडर भेजना है, कल उसकी लास्ट डेट है, बड़ा टेंडर है, लाखों का टेंडर है। टेंडर डॉक्यूमेंट भर के अपने आउट ट्रे में, परचेज डिपार्टमेंट के आउट ट्रे में डाला। The system is that my mail boy comes, collect from various departments, he takes to the mail room, and शाम को इवनिंग 5-6 के बीच में कोरियर वाला आता है, जो कि सब नोट करके और कंसाइनमेंट नोट वगैरह बना के, then he will take it, and then that courier company will send by night flight, etc., to different cities. But जो मेल रूम बॉय हमारा कलेक्ट करने वाला था 5 बजे से पहले, 4:30, 4:30 बजे, आज आए stuck up somewhere, या उसका कुछ पर्सनल इशू होगा, या कहीं फंस गया वो, या भूल गया, कुछ नहीं हुआ. What is the result? My tender document was laying in my out tray till 6 p.m. or even till tomorrow morning. It could not be sent by today's courier, and I missed the deadline of reaching my tender to my client. कल का मेरा डेट मिस हो. ये सडनली मेल बॉय कैसे इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया, माय डियर फ्रेंड्स? इसलिए छोटे से छोटे एम्प्लॉय का भी काम कंपनी को इफेक्ट कर सकता है. दिस इज व्हाट इज टोटल क्वालिटी मैनेजमेंट, माय डियर फ्रेंड्स. I hope you have understood. Now, coming back to the supply chain. What is the supply chain? Customer gives the order, marketing department. It comes to our design or planning. Then an indent is made, given to purchase. We send inquiry, we negotiate, release PO to the supplier, selected supplier. Material is supplied, or if it is a service, stores, so it is given to manufacturing department or the user. Then quality, then finished goods stores, logistics, and then again to customer. In simple, there could be various other departments interlinked, cross-interlinked, several mini supply chains within this. Now, all these are the major departments in any company. If it is a service function, then accordingly the department will change. So every department is linked and every department is important. अब इसमें आप बोल रहे हैं इसमें सिक्योरिटी कहाँ है, इसमें टेलीफोन ऑपरेटर कहाँ है, इसमें प्यून कहाँ है, मेल बॉय कहाँ है, वो सब छोटे छोटे ग्रुप within the thing will be the internal supply chains, internal customers you can say. तो उधर कहीं भी फेल होता है तो ये बड़ा एरो फेल हो जाता है. Okay. Now, where the supplier comes into the picture? Supplier comes into the picture because supplier is part of this. If supplier gives a poor quality, defective material, if supplier delays, if supplier doesn't give proper service or price, then also the customer is getting affected. That is why the importance of supplier in a supply chain, जो पहले नहीं होता था, 90s के लिए ये चीज नहीं थी. ये TQM और supply chain, supplier relationship management. We know CRM, customer relationship management, but supplier relationship management has also come into now. So supply chain management, TQM, SRM, supplier relationship, all these things are related, and all these things, okay, and then placing the order, then another 4, 5, 6 weeks for delivery. So my material is coming actually in 10 to 12 weeks time. Where is the weak link? Weak link is with me, my purchase department. When the material itself is getting delayed by 4 to 5 weeks or 6 weeks, when it will be manufactured and when it will be delivered to the customer suffers. Because the entire chain is being driven by customer. He is not concerned what is happening here inside our factory. Which department is weak or which department is strong. He is not concerned. He is concerned whether his material is delivered on time, whether he is receiving a quality material, whether it is receiving proper service, timely service or not. So, my dear friend, it is not only the purchase. It can be quality department, it can be production department, it can be the planning department, or it can be any other department in the company which may be weak. Now, I will tell you. Suppose a customer is visiting your premises or your office or a factory for the first time. How does he encounter? Whom does he encounter? Whom does he meet first? He will come to a security gate. Now. So the first person he is meeting is the security guard. You have to make a gate pass. There is no system, proper system. Manual gate pass is being made. Some companies have automated, some companies have manual. There is no proper shade or sitting arrangement or a room for the visitors. They are standing in queues in hot sun or in rain. People have to wait half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour to make the gate pass. Even the security guard is not trained to talk to you properly. कहाँ से आए हो? किससे मिलना है? Very rough language they are talking. What is the first impression the customer is getting? The customer is getting the first impression very bad. क्या कंपनी है? सिक्योरिटी वाला भी ठीक से बात नहीं करता है, कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं है, कोई अरेंजमेंट नहीं है, इतना देर से खड़े हैं, अभी तक गेट पास ही नहीं बना है, ऑटोमेटेड सिस्टम ही नहीं है. Similarly, if a customer calls on phone, the operator lifts the phone. किससे बात करना है? मिस्टर सेठ से बात करना है. नहीं, मिस्टर सेठ नहीं है, बाद में फोन करना, फोन पटक दो. नहीं. But some operators are well trained by the company. Whom do you want to talk to? Mr. Seth. Okay, Mr. Seth is not there on his seat. Can you talk to his friend, Mr. Sharma? His colleague or his boss or his junior? Or can you wait for just a minute? I'll try to find out where is Mr. Seth. And I'll try to connect it. That is the training the company gives to its operators. But the first operator who talked very rarely put down the phone. Again, if such a situation is there, the customer feels very bad. He has to dial again. whether he wants to talk to somebody else or something. So, my dear friends, what is the importance of a security guard and a telephone operator in the company? But suddenly they have become important now. So whether you are directly related with customer or not, you are giving an impression to the customer indirectly. So each and every department, each and every function, whichever it is inside the company, if the supplier fails, I cannot service my customer properly. So this is the importance of supply chain management, and the suppliers. So this, the previous two slides about the price, negotiation, and impact of material cost on the total profit margin. And this particular slide, these are very, very critical and important. I hope you have understood. Do you have any questions? Please ask. I will proceed further now. These are the basic preliminaries we must understand. Okay, so now I proceed further if you don't have any questions. What is negotiation? Anyone? Can you define negotiation?
So this is the activity to reduce the cost and duration of the product required to complete the task.
Okay. Anybody else? What is negotiation? Just one or two sentences.
I am Sriramakrishnan from
Boliye.
Telangana.
Boliye.
Negotiation is nothing but convincing the other party as per the requirement.
Okay.
And nowadays it is both the side, either parties to be win finally.
Okay,
Then
good.
the negotiation will be completed.
Very
as per
good.
the
Okay.
Yes.
One more person can. Any other definition?
Anyone, sir?
Please. बोलिए. कौन बोल रहा है? महेश कुमार जी.
It's a decision that resolves an issue in both the parties find acceptable in all the ways.
Okay. Good. Okay. So basically the negotiation is pulling to your side. Everybody wants to win, isn't it? And how do you define it? Have your draft terms ready. You do not waste time. Again, proactive. Or any other thing, you have to be ready. And then you difference of जो बात दोनों ने agree कर लिया, टिक हो गया. Wherever you do not agree, okay, make a checklist. Discuss maybe again after some time or a few days. So maybe some 2 or 3 rounds of negotiation take place, and then finally you conclude. Conclude means you summarized, and whatever discussion has taken place, please make a record of discussion and follow up by a formal email or something or a letter, and then close the deal. So these are the 4 major steps involved in any negotiation process. Is it clear? Coming back, know your supplier. vendors profile and background. तो ये preparation and planning step जो पहला वाला है वो सबसे important है. That is the most proactive action required. And I have seen that many buyers do not do this exercise. Suppose the supplier, क्योंकि buyer के पास कभी time ही नहीं होता. They are always short of time. Supplier is coming at 10 o'clock. 9:55, I put up the case file, pick up the case file papers, and simply go to the negotiation table. I do not do all these exercises. There will be, after this slide will be coming 2 slides for checklist, which we will perhaps take up after lunch. And that preparation is very, very critical and essential. So you must know the vendor's profile and background if it is not a old vendor. If it is a new vendor, you must know the profile and background. Vendor's evaluation and approval based on technical ability, his machinery, whether he has supplied similar parts or items to any other customer, to whom have we supplied, managerial expertise, what is the management's experience, qualification, background, what are their future plans, what are the financials, okay, what are their last 2-3 years turnover, what is their bank position, what are their debts and all that, what is their past experience with various other customers, customer order references, then do they follow any statutory compliances? Because nowadays it is very essential that they must be an authentic manufacturer, either having some registration, GST registration, small scale registration, or workshop, shop and establishment registration, something. Property ownership, is this the place owned by them or hired? Is there any rental agreement? Are they paying proper taxes? Are they paying to their workers properly? Do they have ESIS for workers? Do they have any safety? Are they following any safety regulation? Whole lot of things to know about the vendor. Just like that, we cannot go and negotiate. The more we are knowledgeable about this, and we have assured that yes, these are the things meeting, the lesser risk we are having in future. Very essential. For example, I will tell you a real life experience that some electrical coil manufacturer, I think, some order was placed by our switchgear division, a small vendor. And almost every week the supplies have to come because it's a regular production item. Now for 2 weeks the supplies did not come. When we phone, the vendor says, सब वो वेंडर हमारे वर्कर्स कुछ छुट्टी में गए, वर्कर शॉर्टेज है, इसलिए थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है. So before all these things was not done before registering the vendor. If we had checked proper documents, that ownership documents and other things, so वो एक illegally workshop चला रहा था, तो आप फंस गए. तो स्टैट्यूटरी कंप्लायंसेस जो है ना, जो गवर्नमेंट और अथॉरिटीज के डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, वो बहुत जरूरी है चेक करना और वेरीफाई करना. And compliance to safety, security, and environment. Today, the environment norms are very essential. Green, renewable systems, reducing energy, trying to use the natural resources, etc. Then legal cases, are there any pending legal cases with the supplier? Because then you can have some problem. Any labor strikes, whether have happened in the past or presently going on. So this is what is essential to know about your supplier. So with this, we break for lunch and try to come around maybe preferably by 30 to 35 minutes later. Maximum try to come by 35 minutes later so that we can start on time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye. All the best. Thank you. Then comes the answer as another 16, another 20. Still about 4 minutes are left.
Okay.
32. Mr. Chatterjee says 32. Mr. Chaudhary says 17. Mr. Arul says 26. So now what I will do is whoever has set the highest one, that is 32, I think. Who has set 32? Mr. Chatterjee, you have to come and explain how you are getting 32. Your answer is not correct, but quite near to correct.
Yes.
Please explain.
First, I have counted total number of square. This means 16.
Okay.
Then I have counted total 1. Full 1.
Okay. 17.
Then I have counted 4, 4, 1.
4, 4.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 square.
No. How many small squares?
Total is 16. Total is small square.
That's okay. That is small is okay.
Okay. Then total is 1. Then I have taken total 4 is 1 square. Then again total 4 in 1 square. Again total 4 is 1 square. Again total 4 in 1 square.
So how many 4 wala? 4 by 4, how many are there?
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 20.
Huh?
Total 4. If you count 4 equal to 1.
See, you have one minute. 16 is okay, 1 is okay.
17.
Now you count 2 by 2 small squares.
Yes.
Kitna hai?
9.
2 by 2 is 9. So kitna ho gaya abhi? 16 plus 1, 17 plus 9, 26. Now you count 3 by 3 small squares.
Yes.
How many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No. Only 4.
1, 2, 3. I'm seeing mass.
कितना आया?
1, 2, 3, 4. Again 5, 6.
5 कौन सा? 5, 6 कहाँ से आ गया? 3 by spreading his name. He warned that his quality should be appreciated and accepted. These are vendors' requirements. Have we ever given thought to it? The moment we start giving thought to vendor, and why are we giving thought to this vendor? Because he is an important link in the supply chain. If that supply chain of supplier is not strong, my supply chain will be weak, and ultimately my customer is going to suffer. Hence, I have to think of the vendor or a supplier as one of my family members. The moment you start thinking of supplier as a family member, you get good results. We will see in next coming few slides. So what is planning and preparing? This is the checklist. Pre-negotiation checklist we want. What? Know what you want and what they want, which is very essential. हम अगर सप्लायर को अपना दुश्मन भी समझते हैं, तो हमारे दुश्मन की क्या कमजोरी है, क्या स्ट्रेंथ है, what are his strength and weakness, we must identify the likely buyer. Who is the likely buyer? कौन है हमारा यूजर? टेक्निकल डिपार्टमेंट है, मैकेनिकल है, कि मेंटेनेंस वाला है, कि प्रोडक्शन वाला है, कि आईटी है, कि एचआर वाला है, कि ट्रेनिंग के लिए कुछ हमको खरीदना है? क्या है, कौन है यूजर, और उसका आइटम का यूज क्या है, आइटम या सर्विस का यूज क्या है? वी हैव टू नो. बजट्स एंड टारगेट्स क्या है हमारे? वी मस्ट नो व्हाट इज माय अपर लिमिट, व्हिच इज limited by the budget sanction available. Normally for capital items, the budgets are approved. Revenue items also, the budget is given for your operating expenses department wise, item wise. So what are the target? What is my delivery target? How much advance I can give? How much my finance department will allow? How much warranty I should give? How much delivery time I should give? All those things should be known. So a range should be known. This is the minimum and maximum range in everything. What are vendor strength and vendor weakness? ये सबसे ज्यादा क्रूशियल है negotiation के लिए. क्यों? अगर हम उसको दुश्मन भी समझते हैं, तो वेंडर का स्ट्रेंथ हमें मालूम होना चाहिए. उसके पास कितने ऑर्डर है, कितने लोगों को सप्लाई करता है, कितना बड़ा है, इज ही हंग्री? आर देयर मल्टीपल सप्लाई और इज ही मोनोपोली सप्लायर? अगर वो मोनोपोली है तो बहुत पावरफुल सप्लायर. और इफ आई हैव 3, 4, 5, 6 suppliers, then vendor's position is weak, because I can negotiate with others. I need not negotiate with him alone. उस समय वेंडर का पावर वीक हो जाता है. If I have urgent requirement, then vendor in a strong position. If I have a very critical or proprietary item which only vendor can supply, vendor is in a strong position. What are vendor's weaknesses? If he doesn't have any orders, he's searching for orders, he's looking for orders. उसका प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो रहा है, उसके पास ऑर्डर्स नहीं है, किसी ने उसको ऑर्डर नहीं दिया है, का फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन खराब है, उसके लीगल केसेस चल रहे हैं, उसके फैक्ट्री में थोड़ा स्ट्राइक हो जाता है, और इफ ही इज ए रेगुलर वेंडर टू अस, उसका पास्ट परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है, पास्ट में उसने क्या डिफेक्टिव मटेरियल सप्लाई किया है, क्या डिलीवरी डिले किया है, क्या सर्विस ठीक से ऑफर नहीं किया है, दीज आर ऑल हिज वीकनेसेस। किसी से उसने झगड़ा तो नहीं किया है, किसी से आर्गुमेंट तो नहीं किया है, उसके डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होते हैं क्या, अगर वो पास्ट डिटेल्स ऑफ पास्ट बिजनेस, कितना सप्लाई किया इस वेंडर ने, कहाँ कहाँ सप्लाई किया, हमारे फैक्ट्री में क्या क्या आइटम सप्लाई किया, कब सप्लाई किया, कुछ प्रॉब्लम आएगा, ऑल दोस डिटेल्स यू हैव टू गेट। डेवलप स्ट्रेटजी फॉर प्राइसिंग, कंसेशन एंड नेगोशिएशन। ना हर एक का स्ट्रेटजी अलग रहता है। मोनोपोली सप्लायर होगा, उसका स्ट्रेटजी अलग होगा, अभी थोड़ी देर में देखेंगे। मल्टीपल सप्लायर है, उसका स्ट्रेटजी अलग होगा। क्या कोई कंसेशन या कोई ऑफर चल रहा है, सीजनल ऑफर चल रहा है, क्वार्टर एंड ऑफर चल रहा है, कंसेशन ये ईयर एंड ऑफर चल रहा है क्या? डू वी हैव टू बाय फ्रॉम L1 or can we buy from L2? Do you buy from L2 anytime, anyone? L2 से खरीदते हैं क्या?
What is the meaning of L2?
Pardon?
What is the meaning L2?
L1, L2 मतलब lowest price vendor, second lowest price vendor, third lowest price vendor. T1, T2 means technically best vendor is T1, technically second best vendor is T2, technically third best vendor is T3. So do you buy from the lowest price vendor always? Or can you buy from second lowest vendor also? If you buy from second lowest vendor, what is the condition? Why you buy from second lowest?
Sir,
Boli.
yeah, it's a technical requirement. Though the price is lower, the other parameter like lead time and technical quality requirement, against that we can even go for L2 vendor.
So you can go for L2 vendor. So I will tell you an example.
Yes,
See, for setting up my IT L&T Infotex IT park in Bangalore, Whitefield area, we are setting up a IT park at 12-acre area.
Yes, sir.
And there were various buildings. It was a software development center where about 3,000 to 4,000 software engineers were to be posted. So we were buying the furniture for those buildings. So we had two of our regular suppliers, old, maybe 5-10 years old. We said that 2 floors, one floor each will give to these vendors. And third one, our management wanted to introduce a new vendor. And that new vendor was identified as VIP, a low blast वाला जो लोग है, वो लोग furniture business में आए थे उस time में. And their furniture was very robust and very good design. And in rails and modular, that if you want a cubicle, you make a cubicle. If you want a cabin, then you add another partition on top of it. You can make it a cabin, and whatever sizes and all that. So they can be added. So in rails and modular, and a very robust and strong system. But they were second lowest. About prices were about 15% higher than the lowest price. So when we approached the management said we want to try this, but the prices are 15% higher. So we said that technically he is superior Although even the L1 is meeting my requirements, but the second lowest one is superior because it is robust and more modular in nature. The management asked how much premium you can give to him. So along with architect and purchase people, we worked out, we said we can give 7% maximum over our lowest vendor. So we negotiated with Gloplast, 7% discount, 7% lower than, higher than our lowest vendor. And management said, okay, go ahead. Choose any issue पहले resolve करिए और commercial और legal बाद में. Then what are the risks and liabilities involved? Are they asking for advance? Or will they agree for? Will they give any performance benefit? Or will they agree if they fail to supply a timely and LD clause or any other penalty clause? Or if it is a service order, AMC order, then suppose they do not meet any of our SLAs, it is the service level agreement conditions, then will they accept any penalty? What are the risks involved if the vendor fails? So every company, large company, has a risk management committee for their all large orders and critical orders, high value orders. The committee decides whether it is a vendor order or a customer order while negotiating. What are the safeguarding clauses to protect our company's interest? All these things have to be worked out before or during negotiation. So be ready to take notes during negotiation. Anything which has impact on price or commercial dealings must be noted down. It should not be missed out. And it should be recorded and then confirmed. Even vendor is orally telling, please record it. We used to have minutes of meeting where the vendor will be signing wherever he has committed any delivery or price. And then ask him to confirm it by email or by a letter on his letterhead. It's very essential. Next, still continuing checklist. Prepare well and empower yourself with factual data. Data about market and product knowledge. Market में क्या चल रहा है? Which is the latest product? Which is the latest design? क्या technology है? Buyer को कभी purchase department में बैठना नहीं है. We used to ensure that at least once or twice the buyer must go out. Either to assess the vendor visit, evaluation, or to some exhibition or some seminar to enhance or to market, to find out what are the new products, what are the prices, collect catalogs, collect literature. ये सब चीज negotiation से ready होना चाहिए. What are the market price trends? Raw material पिछले 6 महीने में market stainless steel 304 का प्राइस कैसे चेंज हुआ है, बार्स का प्राइस कैसे चेंज हुआ है, aluminum sheets का प्राइस कैसे चेंज. Have that data ready with you, related with what you are buying. Suppose you are buying an item which involves a brass component or a copper material, how the freight prices are fluctuating. Suppose it involves an imported item, how the dollar has been fluctuating over past 3-4 months or past days. The buyer must be ready with this. Integration, quality, cost, and delivery. You know that we mentioned about Q1, L1, L2, and T1, T2. That is how the quality, the technical aspects, and the price are related. So it impacts by way of premium. Suppose I am taking urgent delivery, it has a price impact. So all these things are correlated. So we must be aware of those things. then who are the main vendors and what are they offering? Are there any vendors? Is he a single vendor? दूसरे वेंडर हैं तो उनका प्राइस कंपैरिजन रेडी होना चाहिए before I discuss with them, so that if my vendor who is coming tomorrow, if he is L2 or L3, then I should try to bring him to L1 or closer to L1. Or technically सब vendors same होने चाहिए. That is what we need to do. Then what are seasonal offers and discounts? As I told you, whether any seasonal offers or quarterly discounts. Well, if you are buying IT items like laptops, mobiles, can you tell me what can be your strength? Your strength areas. बताइए.
On time.
Okay. और what can be our strong areas? Number one, if I have 3-4 vendors, then my position is strong. I can negotiate. If I have single vendor, monopoly vendor, and the vendor can exploit. That is vendor's strong. If I have huge volume order, if I have repeated orders, every month I buy, I have number of items to order, that is my strength area. And I have very small quantity, that is my weak area. So I think there is a company, I think Ani is the name, na? Correct? Ani is the name. Who are in aerospace? Am I correct? Who are the people from Ani? Ani वाले लोग हैं क्या गए? बोलो भाई. Who is from Ani? अरे भाई बोलो यार.
Sir, I am there currently because Madam is off now. Madam is
Huh?
on out for a while. I have just come in. I am Vaibhav, who had registered with this program initially.
Okay, so you are from Ani?
Yes, I am from ANI Integrated Services.
Okay, you call it ANI or Ani, and you are in aerospace, correct?
No, we are into projects of electrical and instrumentation, and we provide services.
Okay. Then who is in aerospace industry related products?
We have
Pardon?
no, not aerospace. We are not linked with aerospace. It is oil and gas.
Okay. Who is there are some people from aerospace.
Yeah, we are data patterns.
Okay. You are from aerospace. So I would like to tell an example. You can mute it now because your voice is echoing. I think maybe one or two instruments are. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Yes. So I will give you an example. When I was working with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, we were making MiG aero engines in the factory at Odisha. And we were making about 40 to 45 aero engines only per annum. So all the items which were used in manufacturing, and we were indigenizing various items, we were getting very low quantities. Whether it is the raw material, special which can withstand 150, 200 degrees centigrade, and on the lower side, -40, -50 degrees, because the the supersonic jets, they fly at such a height that the temperatures are very low, and some of these materials were used near the compressor and turbines inside the engine where the temperatures were high. So both ways, this wide temperature range. So whether it is a stainless steel, whether it is rubber, silicon rubber items, whether it is a molded items, oils and lubricants, or any such thing, they were highly specialized and the technical specs were very tough. So number one, the technical specs were very tough. And number two, the quantities were very small. So whenever we were coming to the Indian suppliers, we will say the quantity is very small. Safeguarding against any future risk with the supplier. The risk of failure of supplier will reduce if you have known the vendor and done thorough research about the vendor. So I hope these two slides were a lot of time on this, but these are very useful and important. So any questions on this? किसी को कुछ पूछना है तो बताइए. I think I'll have to go fast now from here. Okay. Now, what are the negotiation skill sets? So there are some negotiation skill sets which the buyer should have. Number one is assertive. I just now explained to you what is assertive. That means buyer must be loaded with a lot of facts and figures and data to convince the supplier. Buyer must be patient. He should be a patient listener. He should listen, because as I told you earlier, the vendor brings a lot of information from the market, not only market, about product, about technology, news, about our competitors. We must be open-minded. We should not say, "Nay, I don't agree with you," and all that. Listen to him, make your own opinion, that's different. But be open-minded, don't be closed-minded. Careful listener, as I told you. Self-discipline, you must have discipline. You should not start misbehaving. You should behave in a mature manner. Creative, that means you should out of the thinking, if you can have that. मतलब क्या आपको क्लियर लगाना चाहिए कॉस्ट रिड्यूस करने के लिए, नया नया टेक्निक्स, आपकी नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, आपको बहुत रीड करना चाहिए, आपको बहुत सेमिनार्स और ये सब अटेंड करना चाहिए. एंड यू शुड बी फ्लेक्सिबल. अगर आप रिजिड होंगे तो डील्स आपकी उतनी सक्सेसफुल नहीं होंगी. So negotiation, basically it means you have to have flexibility, you have to compromise. Persuasive, that means you should be able to persuade. Decisive, you should be able to make decisions, because every boss wants you to take decisions. If you don't take decision and go to your boss will first ask, what in your opinion, what we should do? Because he wants you to learn to take decisions. Every boss wants you to take decisions. That's how you will develop. You must be confident. You should not be कि आपका confidence ढीला है थोड़ा. Self-confident. Then considerate. You should be considerate toward. You must know what they want. आगे चल के आप देखेंगे. Some of the techniques, these techniques are required. Respect for others. If you don't agree with him, don't shout or scold him or throw him out of the room. Aggressive behavior को control करना है. Ability to handle pressure. कई बार आपको pressure आएगा, हमको quick decision लेना है, हमको loss होने वाला है अगर हम ये नहीं करें. तो आपको एक balanced approach लेना पड़ेगा, so that the pressure doesn't affect you. Of course, it comes with experience. And lastly, very important, क्योंकि परचेज का नाम बहुत खराब होता है. हाईली, यू मस्ट बी हाईली. एक बायर का अनएथिकल होने से पूरा कंपनी का नाम खराब. Not only that, the person who is unethical cannot sleep in the night. He cannot have a peaceful night. He will always have something at the back of his mind कि मैंने क्या गलत किया या सही. So these are the important skill sets which a buyer should have. There is not a complete list, but some important things I have listed here. Handling the conflicting situations, conflict, argument, and debate. Be proactive, have a positive attitude. Be calm, mature, and respectful. Basic intention is to resolve the conflict. Other's viewpoint first. There is a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey. I strongly recommend that everybody must have a copy of that book. Because Dr. Stephen Covey, after some 25-30 years of research with various companies, industrialists, individuals in every field, he found that these are the 7 habits which the successful people have. And be proactive is the first habit recommended by Dr. Stephen Covey. One of the habits is understand the other viewpoint. Don't force your viewpoint. Put yourself in other shoes. तभी तुमको प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने का तरीका निकलेगा. Go to the root cause of misunderstanding. क्यों हो रहा है ये? डेडलॉक क्यों है? सपोज हमारा झगड़ा हो गया सप्लायर से कि माल रिजेक्ट हो गया है, 70-80% माल रिजेक्ट हो गया. झगड़ा करते रहिए, आपको कुछ नहीं होगा. बट if you think that supplier is a member of our family, material reject हुआ है, is there any raw material problem? Is there any problem with the source of raw material जहां से supplier खरीद रहा है? Is there any technical issue? उसके मशीन में प्रॉब्लम है, उसका मशीन बराबर मेंटेन नहीं हुआ है, ब्रेक डाउन हो जाता है, उसके वर्कर का कुछ इशू है, स्किल्ड नहीं है, ट्रेन नहीं है बराबर, या कुछ और प्रोसेस में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, या कुछ वेंडर को फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम है, क्या उसका कुछ फैमिली इशू है, क्या इशू है? Go to the root cause. Try to eliminate that root cause and your problem will be solved. That's the main thing. Cooperation, compromise, and collaboration together. So you have to work together. A balanced and assertive approach. So assertive I have already told, and you must have a balanced thing, means from all the angles. Evaluate alternate solutions and select the best one. So TQM में ये भी सिखाया जाता है कि discuss, brainstorm among your group team. जैसे मैंने बोला कि हर हफ्ते मीटिंग होना चाहिए हमारा, जिधर the members of our team or of our department can suggest solutions to a problem. कि रॉ मटेरियल प्राइस बढ़ रहा है, या वेंडर माल रिजेक्ट हो रहा है, या वेंडर की डिलीवरी डिले हो रही है, तो उसके सॉल्यूशन क्या है? व्हाट शुड वी डू टू सॉल्व दीज इश्यूज? गेट brainstorming solutions from your team members and try to select one or two best ones. A joint problem solving approach. अगर आपका कोई मटेरियल रिजेक्ट हुआ है तो आप सप्लायर के साथ मिल के रूट कॉज में जाइए और उसको सॉल्व करिए. आपको आगे कुछ एग्जांपल ऑफ केस स्टडीज में मिलेंगे. वर्क फॉर विन विन एंड नॉट विन लूज, बिकॉज विन लूज आपको एक बार दो बार हो जाएगा, बाद में आपको सक्सेस नहीं मिलेगा. डंडा मार के सब काम करा लेते, लेकिन एक बार दो बार, बट नॉट परमानेंट. So, conflict with the vendor. Padhiye aap ye and tell me what solution you give. You have a regular vendor supplying mechanical machine parts. There is a dispute as about 30% of total quantity is not as per laid down specs and rejected. Your production is getting held up. You don't have an alternate vendor at present and you want to resolve the problem so that you have continuity of production. You are aware that vendor has price issues and he had accepted the order at this price under compulsion. Vendor's 3-4 months payment is also outstanding. So can maybe 2 or 3 people, can you suggest any solution? Normally I give this as a group exercise in a classroom training. It may not be possible here because you are sitting at different places and all that. So just quickly think about 1 or 2 minutes. Okay? What else? There is one major thing is spending. Dispute about 30% rejection. How you will approach that?
We can also identify what went wrong with the 30%
Yes,
of that.
that is, I have previous slides, I have told you go to the root cause. Why that rejection has happened is very, very essential. Is it a tooling issue? It is a technical issue. It is a raw material issue. Is it a finance issue? It is a worker issue. Worker absence था, जो उनका skilled worker है और unskilled वाले को दे दिया, या मशीन खराब है, मशीन बहुत पुराना है, मेंटेनेंस नहीं होता है बराबर, क्या इशू है? We are the buyer. We have a sort of an upper hand. We are the customer for them. So we must go out and help because supplier is an important link in the supply chain. And if that link is weak, my customer is going to suffer. Always remember. So my supplier is my hand, one of my hand. He is one of my body part. If one body part is not functioning, I have to take care of that part. I can't ignore it. वो जमाना चला गया पुराने जमाने में जब वेंडर को फायर करते थे, ये माल रिजेक्ट हो गया, हमको कुछ नहीं मालूम, कल शाम तक मेरे 3 बजे तक माल वापस आना चाहिए. And forget about it. No. आजकल ऐसा नहीं होता, और अगर ऐसा कहीं होता है तो गलत होता है. You cannot find a solution. You have to work together. Now let's see about monopoly suppliers. 1 minute. Just let me see some of my slides. I am missing something. So monopoly supplier is basically the one every company has, who has some proprietary item, specific item not available elsewhere or very rarely available or maybe available in some other country, not in this country. So such suppliers at times, most of them rather, they try to exploit if you do not have good relations with them. Mind my last sentence. If you do not have good relations with them. So, industry, silicon rubber is generally non-reactive, stable, resistant to extreme environment temperatures from -55 to 300, while still maintaining its useful properties. It is used in various applications, including aerospace industry, due to extreme environmental conditions. An industry had requirement a variety of silicon rubber seals of special cross sections for hydraulic system ordered by a client. Industry was developed as potential supplier after several Turing trials. XYZ in way became monopoly supplier for this type of seals, started demanding very high price. After a lot of discussion, persuasion, MOU was signed with XYZ over a period of 2 years with 5% increase after 1 year. XYZ thus had assured business and gave a 15% discount on the entire range of seals. So this was a win-win situation. So this actually has happened. And this supplier was somewhere in Pune. So how to negotiate with monopoly supplier? It is just like this trickster who has to balance so many things. You need to have the best negotiation practices in place. So, see, paradigm is a mindset, old mindset, old thinking. What we learn from our childhood, what we learn in school, in our teacher, with our teachers, वो हमारे दिमाग में बैठ जाता है, and we accept it as reality. But sometimes the facts are different. So, for example, the solar system. Now, tell me, in the solar system, whether the sun revolves around the earth or earth revolves around the sun. Quickly. Simple, बच्चों वाला क्वेश्चन है ये.
Earth revolves around the sun.
Earth revolves around the sun. But earlier, what was known? Today, the Earth and all other planets are revolving around the sun. But earlier, the belief was that the sun is revolving and Earth is stationary. Old times. Because we are seeing from the window in the east, the sun is coming up, and in the west in the evening, the sun is going down. So our perception, our old paradigm, our old mindset, our old thinking was that Earth is stationary and sun is revolving. But who changed this? Who found out the real fact? Which scientist? Are you aware? सबने स्कूल में पढ़ा होगा. So it was Galileo who found after doing experiments that is not true, and sun is stationary and all other planets are revolving. And mind you, the people had such a strong belief in the old paradigm that Galileo was punished and jailed. कि तुम झूठ बोल रहे हो. But later on, more and more scientists proved that sun is stationary and Earth and other planets are revolving. Similarly, about a digital watch. What is the difference between digital watch and a mechanical watch? A mechanical watch has some gears, some spring, coil spring, and a chabi. You have to every 24 hours so that the spring coil is under tension and the needles rotate. And these are the prominent watches manufactured by Switzerland. But a European designed a digital watch which did not have all these parts. It was electronic based or some chip based or whatever it is. And he went to Switzerland and showed them that this is the watch I am manufacturing. Can you produce this? The Switzerland manufacturer rejected it They said, no, it doesn't have any gears or mechanical parts, it will not work. He went to Japan. That Japan is tech-savvy people. They kept the watch for some time and then they said, yes, it's a good design. And some of them bought that design and started producing. After a few months, the digital watches came in the market and they reached Switzerland also. And when those Switzerland manufacturers saw that, they were shocked that we rejected this. So see the paradigm shift, the change in thinking, how the change in thinking has been brought. And now Switzerland people are also producing digital. Same thing happened about Nokia phone, Nokia type of phones and our Android phones. But the technology changes. Nokia never thought. They rejected the idea of that Android. They came very, very late into Android. Again, the old paradigm. So, my friends, everything has been told. Our own Shiv Khera, who has authored a very popular. So, along with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, you can also purchase this book. Both are almost similar. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. जो लाइफ में सक्सेसफुल होते हैं वो कुछ अलग चीज नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन उनका काम करने का तरीका अलग होता है. हमने आपको हिमा दास का शुरू में पिक्चर दिखाया था. She is one of those winners. She was highly proactive and she was so determined. She followed her determination and targets and objectives and achieved. तो जो विनर होते हैं, जो सक्सेसफुल होते हैं, कोई भी फील्ड हो, वो अलग तरीके का रास्ता अपनाते हैं. तो व्हाट इज ट्रेडिशनल वर्सेस स्ट्रेटेजिक अप्रोच? तो हमारी पुरानी सोचने की जो शक्ति थी, जो तरीका था, that is different from today's approach, a long-term approach. Traditional means the transactional. Same is the difference between bargaining and negotiation. Somebody had asked in the beginning. तो जैसा घोड़ा गाड़ी है वही आज का मॉडर्न कार्स, भी तो ई व्हीकल्स भी आ गई हैं. So moving from transactions to strategic procurement, why it has taken place? Because of global competition. We know that global markets have opened. Global sourcing is taking. We are buying from all over the world. We are selling to all over the world. Then emergence of quality systems, which happened in somewhere in 90s. That total quality systems, ISO systems, all those things. Okay. Then diversification into new areas. The people, the companies got opportunity to diversify from one product to other, close down the unwanted businesses like I gave you example of L&T. Then use of IT and technology. And now we are in the stage of procurement 4 or manufacturing 4.0. That is the age of web-based systems, blockchain, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, 3D printing. So these are the digital technologies being used now. Have you heard of it? So how the industry restructuring took place, we changed our paradigms and thinking over the years. From transaction-oriented or traditional thinking, we changed to relationship-oriented. We must have good relation with supplier. That thinking has changed over the years. SRM, EQM, SCM, all those things have resulted in strategic thinking. And also from domestic sourcing to global sourcing. So this is how our thinking has changed. Now, what is strategic sourcing? This is a E. Kearney model, which is a consultancy firm, and this model has been adopted by many companies across the world, and which has resulted in cost saving in the range of 10 to 20%. Multiple MNCs like Gamble, IBM, Dell, so many others have adopted. What is this 7-step process? You will agree that the negotiation or pricing cannot be same for all the items being purchased by the company. Suppose you are buying a CNC machine of lakhs or crores of rupees, or you are buying a simple hardware, nuts, bolts and all, C category item. Can we have the same negotiation approach? No. It's a difference in category. One is high value capital item and one is a low value C category. You have to develop a strategy. Then you have to, after developing a strategy, to execute. Execute मतलब आपको उस हिसाब से वेंडर से बात करनी है, डिसीजन लेना है कि हमें हमारी नेगोशिएशन की अप्रोच क्या हो. एक मोनोपोली वेंडर से आप नेगोशिएट करोगे और एक ऐसा वेंडर है जो जिधर हमारे पास 4-5 वेंडर है, दोनों की अप्रोच सेम होगी. 4-5 वेंडर है तो हम इसको प्रेशराइज कर सकते हो. हमारे पास लार्ज वॉल्यूम है, प्रेशराइज कर सकते हैं. हमारे पास लो वॉल्यूम है तो हम नहीं कर सकते. ये सब अप्रोच अलग अलग वेंडर से अलग अलग कैटेगरी के लिए अलग हो, वो हम अभी एक्सरसाइज करेंगे. देन यू गो फॉर एक्चुअल नेगोशिएशन एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अवार्ड. ओके. एंड नेक्स्ट नंबर 6 is implement and transition, change your style of negotiation. And 7 is most important, supplier relationship management. How you are looking at your supplier relationship management for all the types of categories of items. So the items which are high value, they become critical to us. Who are contributing more to our production? Rather A category item we call it. The items which are monopoly items, where we have hardly 1 or 2 vendors, I must have good relationship. क्योंकि अगर वो आइटम बंद हो जाएगा तो हमारा फैक्ट्रीज ग्रोथ विल बी अफेक्टेड. Hence, supplier relationship is extremely important for services. It's important for all, but more important for such cases. So let us see how the spend analysis is done quickly. The process of collecting, cleansing, classifying and analyzing expenditure data. तो हम लोग जो खर्चा कर रहे हैं अपना पूरा मटेरियल परचेज में, सर्विस में, खरीदने का, ऑर्डर देने का, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनाने का, कहाँ खर्चा हो रहा है, इस पर एनालिसिस का पर्पस क्या है? You have to reduce your procurement cost and improve the efficiency. That is the purpose. It can also be leveraged in other areas of business such as inventory management, budgeting, planning, sales forecast. Spend analysis can answer 3 crucial questions. What am I really spending? Where am I spending it? Am I getting what has been promised for that spending? So, what are we buying? Questions है. How much we have paid? How much we have bought? Who are we buying from? Who is buying? On what terms did we buy? How often did we buy? When did we buy it? Are we getting what had been promised? Where were the items delivered to? Geographical location? How does the data compare with previous? So this is in official terms, technical called spend analysis. और आजकल के ERP में सब डेटा अवेलेबल है. Just touch of a button, you tell your ERP or IT department, they can give you the reports, online reports. On your screen, it can come, whichever report you want, in whichever format. It is up to your department head or your team. Same way, the data will be presented to you. So spend analysis is nothing but total spend, commodity wise or category wise spend, total spend by a particular supplier, total spend quarter wise, category or commodity wise spend by supplier, or by supplier spend by commodity, quarter spend by supplier, commodity spend by quarter, supplier spend by quarter, quarter spend by commodity, anything. You can add buyer also. Which buyer is buying? So you also know how much a buyer is loaded, how much a buyer is buying, what is their annual value, how many orders and how much is the order value. So anything is possible by push of a button. It is really called a dashboard. In dashboard, you can get all kinds of information. I don't know whether any of your companies is doing. Now, sample list of procurement spend categories. Now, which are the various categories? Manufacturing or non-manufacturing? तो हमने एक typical example लिया है ये. So audio video devices, building maintenance services, business professional admin services, computer hardware, engineering research, fuel additive, lubricants, then food and beverages products, healthcare services, insurance services, specialized equipment, personal hygiene, medical equipment, public order, vehicle leak, fleet management, transportation, IT services, postal courier services, etc. So this is the dashboard. तो एक ये एग्जांपल लिया है मैंने, उसका पाई चार्ट. तो I wanted, okay, at push of a button, I should get in descending order what are the category wise value purchases in the year 2021. So I found corporate infra projects are highest, about 1021 lakhs. Then AMC high, office equipment, civil related, hardware, software, stationery, printing, EC. So similarly, for a manufacturing company, you can have steel raw material, aluminum raw material, brass raw material, capital machinery, any other welding equipment. जो भी कैटेगरी आप खरीदते हैं, हर एक इंडस्ट्री का अलग अलग. तो आपके इंडस्ट्री में जो भी खरीदा जाता है वो सब कोडिफाइड करके आपका ईआरपी में सब इंफॉर्मेशन देता है. अगर आपके पास ईआरपी है, नहीं है तो फिर लोग एक्सेल में भी करते हैं. तो मैनुअल वर्क हो जाता है वो. तो यू कैन लिस्ट डाउन एंड फाइंड आउट whether a pie chart or bar chart or any kind of report you can add. Tabular form. और ये एक्सरसाइज क्यों कर रहे हैं अब आगे आपको बताएंगे, because we are moving towards Kraljic matrix. Now, after this, very important is supplier segmentation. All of us know ABC analysis or Pareto principle. What is Pareto principle? One quickly. बताइए कोई जना. पढ़ा है किसी ने Pareto principle? 80-20 or 70-30 principle. Also it is called. Okay. So in any company, this is a typical example. In any company, about 80% of the total expenditure on purchase, okay, is on 20% of the items or 20% of the suppliers. So these are, you can say, the top three portions of this diagram are basically A and B categories. The top one is A, the second one is B1 category, and B2 is the third one, green one. And the lowest one, 20% spent, is a C category item where 80 to 90% of suppliers are there. तो आपके नट बोल्ट्स है, कंज्यूमेबल्स है, ऑयल्स एंड ग्रीजेस है, सब certain spares are there, maintenance spares are there. So those kind of things will come under this category. Okay, and the highest A category will be very high value item, very critical for our production, etc. But only very few suppliers will be there. So you have to categorize with this action. So first one is the strategic suppliers. They are most critical to your production. The next one is core or preferred supplier. They are about 2 to 4%. Then managed suppliers are 5 to 10%. And transactional suppliers are category items. These are about 80 to 90% of your total suppliers. So suppose you have 100 suppliers in the company, about 80% will fall in this category. And very few fall in, about 20% will fall in top 3 categories. So we have 4 more minutes, I think. No, we have 3:30, sorry. So we have 18. And purchasing must become supply management. He is giving a lot of importance to purchase. Otherwise, purchase used to be a thankless job. Production, marketing, these were the jobs very crucial and important for any company. And purchasing, maintenance, etc. are considered as thankless jobs. But he is trying to give importance because the purchasing also can provide indirect profits to the company. We saw in the first 2 slides importance of negotiation. If we negotiate strongly, by reducing 2%, I can get 11% jump in my profits. That means the purchasing also can add a lot of value. And we can be also like an indirect profit center. Okay. So what Mr. Kraljic says, this is a very, I will call it as a heart of today's entire session, Kraljic matrix. Study this diagram. On the x-axis, you have low risk, supply risk, low to high. What do you mean by low to high supply risk? Can somebody tell me? Have you understood what it is? And on the y-axis, we have profit impact or items, say, which are impacting the growth or business of the company from low to high. Supply risk is low means what? Have you understood? बताइए भैया, आप लोग चुप रहेंगे तो बहुत मुश्किल होगा. Somebody has to speak out. बोलिए बोलिए. What is the meaning of high risk supplier and low risk supplier?
Sir, low risk supply would essentially mean all items like consumables or whatever we require in day-to-day tools.
Very good.
Or, something like that.
And high risk?
High risk items are those major deliverables which we have to give in a project supply, which are of which have to be technically, they should adhere to all the technical documentation. We have different panels. We have big huge transformers, for example. We have heavy machinery which has to be supplied. These are very critical, and we require that technical competence from our technical teams, and then we have to supply it on time.
Okay,
On
good.
schedule.
Good. You are more or less correct, but you have missed out on one point. High risk means monopoly supply.
Okay.
Because you have few suppliers, you have highly technical items. I think, can you mute it? It is echoing very. Because मेरे को लग रहा है आप दो इक्विपमेंट यूज कर रहे हैं क्या जो इको हो रहा है आवाज बहुत इको हो रहा है कुछ लोगों का तो हाई रिस्क मींस either a monopoly supplier or a highly technical item, or the item is not easily available, or it is very critical for the production also. So that means that is a high risk.
Can we say the high risk product is always the customized product?
It can be or it cannot be also. Both ways it can be. Yes. It can be high risk. Yeah. It can be high risk. So now coming to the y-axis, profit impact. The items which have low impact, that is a C category items, and high impact means the A or at least B1 category item. Those kinds of items will come under high risk category. So there are 4 quadrants now. So by this discussion now, recent discussion, you must have understood what are leverage items. Leverage item means profit impact is value added as percentage of cost, or the volume is very high and it has a very strong impact on profitability. Supply risk is scarce item, pace of technology, high technology items, monopoly conditions, and where the logistic costs are very high, etc. Okay. Now leverage item means what? Leverage item means large volume which has impact on production, critical, which contributes maximum to the company's profit in production, on production angle. Okay. But the risk is low. Risk is low means I have only 4 or 5 suppliers for these items. Understood? Let us come to strategic item. These are also critical and high volume items, but here I have hardly 1 or 2 suppliers. Or it is a high tech item, or I am importing, so risk is involved. तो हमारे लिए सबसे ज्यादा डेंजरस आइटम कौन सा है? स्ट्रैटेजिक आइटम, क्योंकि हाई वैल्यू भी है और हाई रिस्क भी है. Now bottleneck items is like C category or E2 category items. Not very high, but okay. They are low in profit. The vendors are very few. Only 1 or 2 vendors. तो हमारे लिए स्ट्रेटेजिक आइटम और बॉटलनेक आइटम सबसे ज्यादा डेंजरस है. Non-critical items is like a purely C category. The value is not much. They do not contribute, and I have multiple suppliers. So if you have understood these 4 squares, you will understand ये दोनों, ये चारों के लिए, for all these four, the strategies have to be different. I have to be more careful and thoughtful about strategic items and bottleneck items. हमारा फैक्ट्री का प्रोडक्शन बंद होने का रिस्क ज्यादा है. I am quite happy about leverage item because I have high volume, I have multiple suppliers, I can negotiate better. Similarly, about non-critical items, they are low value, so they are not going to impact much. हमारे सबसे ज्यादा most worrisome area is strategic item. Now next exercise will be आप लोग को करना है ये exercise. You have to draw on your writing pad and find out which are the leverage items which you are buying in your company, which have large volume. The substitutes are available, multiple suppliers are there, alternate suppliers are available. Okay, any questions on this? Next, non-critical, low value, spares, commodities, consumables, hardware, etc. Easy to find substitutes. Many suppliers are available, and it has a limited financial impact, profit or growth. Next, strategic item, they are unique specification, maybe certain high-tech wala, proprietary wala, critical technology, very few suppliers, and very in each of the four squares, at least 2 or 3 major items you have to write. So this is about, abhi kitna baja hai? So we still have 7 minutes. Try to complete in 7 minutes. Okay, and then I will ask some 3-4 people, maybe after tea break, what you have written. I hope it is clear. ये थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो गया है. तो ये है एक्चुअली क्लासिफाई मेजर आइटम परचेज. सॉरी, एनीवे वो स्लाइड यहाँ पर नहीं है तो मैं आपको ये हटा रहा हूँ. You have to do this exercise. Divide your purchases in these 4 categories. ये स्क्रीन आपके सामने है, and you finish this exercise in 6-7 minutes, and then we break for tea. If any question, please ask me. सब कुछ एकदम क्लियर है. मेरे को सबसे ज्यादा चिंता है. I am not concerned. You can write on, but you need not share with me. Non-critical item, I am not concerned. I am concerned with leverage item, strategic item, and bottleneck item. Please write down just 2 items each, 2 or 3 items maximum in each of these categories. I hope it is clear. Thank you.
Can you just again raise the question?
Yeah.
What do you need to write?
On your writing pad, you draw these 4 squares. Write leverage item, strategic item, bottleneck item, non-critical item as title in each square. Then आपके कंपनी में कौन सा आइटम है जो सबसे लार्ज वॉल्यूम में है और जिसके मल्टीपल सप्लायर हैं. 2 आइटम लीवरेज में लिखिए, 2-3 आइटम स्ट्रेटजी में लिखिए जिधर वॉल्यूम ज्यादा है लेकिन सप्लायर कम है. और दोज आइटम्स वेयर इट इज क्रिटिकल, यूनिक स्पेसिफिकेशन है, सप्लायर कम है, बट उनका वैल्यू, कंट्रीब्यूशन वैल्यू ज्यादा है, दे आर क्रिटिकल टू योर प्रोडक्शन.
Okay.
देन बॉटलनेक में वैल्यू बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं है, लाइक इट्स लाइक ए B2 काइंड ऑफ एन आइटम, B2 और C आइटम, बट दे आर वेरी यूनिक. उसका वैल्यू कम होगा लेकिन सप्लायर 1-2 ही है आपका, तो प्रोडक्शन में प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है. तो those items will come, 2-3 items will come in bottleneck. Yeah. 3 में मेन लिखना है. C में अगर आपको टाइम मिलेगा आप C में लिख दीजिए, बट C का सबको मालूम है what are C category items. So please do this exercise now.
Okay.
We can delay the tea break by 5 minutes, no problem. We'll go at 3:35. Tell it, start. Can be used. Then optimize inventory levels. Even because these are low cost items, so inventory can be slightly higher. And as you are having multiple suppliers, you can and need not spend much time on these items. So hence you simplify the process. So don't non-value added activities is काम करना चाहिए. And you can also reduce the number of suppliers. Just keep 3-4, sufficient for that. So optimize inventory levels. Strategic is most critical. So ensure supply availability. That is our main concern. Develop long-term relationship and alliance with the vendors. So for strategic items जरूरी है, उनके साथ टाई अप करिए, उनको बातचीत करते रहिए और ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं करिए so that your supply is stopped. So even if you have to pay slightly higher, let us maintain the relationship and let us maintain the supplies. Analyze and manage the risk, because here the risk is more, number of suppliers are less. So you should have some backup plan. Backup plan is that a team of people in your purchase must work towards alternative vendor development. So continuously you should look out for development of new suppliers in those categories. So requires highest attention. Then bottleneck items is a limited sources are there. So you can even, and value is slightly less. So you can have extra inventory also. You can place slightly 10, 15, 25%, 50 up to 50%, ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी ऑर्डर भी आप देख देंगे, इन्वेंट्री ज़्यादा बढ़ा लेंगे तो भी आपको फायदा होगा, क्योंकि आपको बॉटलनेक नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर सप्लाई खत्म हो गया है, सप्लायर का कोई इश्यू हो गया, तो कीप एक्सेस स्टॉक्स. And here also you should maintain good relations and start developing new supplies. So this is the strategy for 4 categories recommended by Mr. Ralji. Now, looking at this, it gains a lot of importance on supplier relationship management. So best practices in negotiation skills now we are going to cover. Play your cards, strategize beforehand. तो बैलेंस पावर इन नेगोशिएशन किसके पास है? अगर मल्टीपल सप्लायर है तो वी आर पावरफुल, वी हैव द पावर. इनडेफिनिट रिक्वायरमेंट, मल्टीपल सप्लायर, लो स्विचिंग कॉस्ट, तो ये लीवरेज कैटेगरी टाइप के आइटम हो गए. लार्ज वॉल्यूम्स, शॉर्ट सप्लाई, लीड टाइम, प्लेंटीफुल सप्लाई, फ्यू बायर्स, यू आर ए मेजर बायर. तो इस पोजीशन में हमारी पोजीशन स्ट्रांग है. और अगर monopoly supplier है, that is a strategic or bottleneck condition, then the supplier has a upper hand. So we have to be extremely careful. These are the situations where we want urgent material. There are few suppliers. अगर एक vendor से दूसरे में switch करेंगे, then the cost is high because some tooling may be involved or some AMC अगर है तो it is not so easy to ship. Then we have low volumes as in say aerospace industry. Then specialized specification है, high tech material है, scarce बहुत supply है. There are many buyers who are not a major buyer. So in such case, the monopoly vendor can take advantage. So what are the best practices? We are going to see some about 6 practices. And we have about an hour's time. So adopt a win-win approach is the first. The traditional way was something like this. That means the buyer was very, very powerful and the seller had to bow in, and it was like a win-lose situation. Today, over the years now, about 10-15 years, or maybe 20-25 years or so, it has changed over to partnership oriented. That means you are still the elder brother, but now you are helping and guiding the vendor because you are considering him as your family member, because he is an important link in the supply chain, which will affect our customer. So earlier it used to be mostly win-lose situation, but today the companies have adopted of examples in this. What is SRM and why it is needed? So basically SRM is, earlier we used to call it like vendor management. Vendor management, I used to take sessions on vendor management. 1 lakh. This is called negative SOPA. It is very easy and difficult to match. अगर आपका SRM बहुत ही strong और अच्छा है, then perhaps you may arrive at an agreement. Otherwise, this negotiation will break. So I hope it is clear what is the meaning of SOPA. Okay. So supplier relationship management is nothing but vendor management plus relationship. And it leads to joint problem solving. I have told you in the past, and root cause analysis. क्या प्रॉब्लम है कि वेंडर के एकदम रिजेक्ट हो रहे हैं या डिले हो रहे हैं, सर्विस फेलियर? We have to go into root cause. And if everything works well, then both the parties should work for a long-term strategic alliance, because it is in the interest of both the parties. You have seen strategic item में क्या होता है? I cannot afford to break my production line, to stop my production line. Bottleneck item, same thing. So I must work along with my supplier so that I can have a long-term alliance and both can benefit as per that. Now, joint problem solving, there is a case study, just read it. This is an electrical fuse body used in electrical switch gear. I am talking of this particular one in the center, the big square shaped body. It is made of ceramic, and it was an imported part. There is a through and through hole where the sand will be filled. On both the side, metal plates, conducting metal plates will be put and tightened with a screw. Through the end in between the center hole, there will be a wire will be passing. So it is kind of a fuse switch. And we were supposed to indigenize this ceramic body. So 2 vendors were found, one in Nashik and Punjab. Nashik is corner where the screws were tightened with the plates on both the sides. The wall thickness maybe was less, but some cracks were developing on the edges. So 2-3 times. The tooling actually was provided by MT, but the molding was done by that vendor because they are specialized in that line. And it was in Punjab, in Kapurthala. And I remember having visited, I think, 3 times or so, along with my tooling engineer. And after 2-3 trials, so the root cause was found that we had to modify our tools, and he had to adjust some temperature because these are molded at higher temperatures. So he has to adjust do trial with the highest temperature. And after 2-3 trials, we succeeded. So it was a joint problem approach which helped in resolving the solution. So let us get some examples. See, like Tata Steel, they are widely using strategic sourcing, from strategic purchase to strategic. They have an SRM approach adopted, win-win relationship. They have collaborative approach and lifetime contracting. They are knowledge-based buying organization, adoption of TCO approach. They have total cost of ownership approach, which I'll be telling you now after some time. And they consolidate and leverage the volume Y. So leverage items use here. Now, what is kind of SRM and data patterns? Just read, I could get some information. So not exactly SRM, but yes, they are having some kind of arrangement with their suppliers on these items. What is the chat people are putting? Okay. So I could not get from many companies. I could get on data pattern, I think. Something. Anyone? Or having any long-term contract with some suppliers, alliance? Okay, nothing is coming forward. So there is another case study of joint problem solving. Just read through. This is about some servers, I think. Damaged packing boxes. So this was an imported item, and we found that because hard disk was coming separately, there was some pilferage. The packaging was broken and hard disk was missing. The servers were intact, the hard disk was missing. So we did the joint inspection with vendors, local authorized agent, EDM, even video conferencing was done with vendors Singapore's office, showing them the damaged packing boxes. They said that they have sent the boxes intact, but on the way something has gone wrong. So the main reason was the root cause. The packaging design was not changed for last 5 years. Substandard packing material was being used, which can be easily broken. Packaging design was not pilfer proof, resulting in theft of item. Maybe in those countries, it might have been okay because there the theft and all are not taking place much. But coming to when it comes to area in the airport or in the cargo area, we must be noticing that some costly material is coming inside this, and it was not pilfer proof, so they were removing it. So on our advice and insistence, the vendor redesigned the pilfer proof packaging with a better and stronger material. So this is also a case which actually happened, and the supplier actually was HP. Another case study is the partnership with one of these IT hardware vendors. You can read through. Now we have to quickly go through because I have an role play also now. So you can see the Maruti also is following regularly. They are having video analysis. They are having a supplier club. They teach best practices to their suppliers. And supplier club, I would like to the platform used for discussing various operational and social issues. The HR department of Maruti is so involved that they discuss even the social issues, family issues with the supplier. Are you having any financial problem? Are you having any medical issue of getting some treatment for their family members? Okay, or any educational help they require. So medical, health, educational, financial, all those guidance and help is being provided by the Maruti management to the suppliers. So this is a kind of a family relationship they maintain. And most of the automobile suppliers, they are having this kind of thing. And KPMG research, some people say, that डंडा मार के ही काम होता है और SRM वगैरह कुछ चलता नहीं है. But KPMG research has proved them wrong. They have said that maturity in category management, what we discussed before Tragic Matrix, strategic sourcing and SRM, organizations with high SRM maturity, that means who are regularly and strictly following SRM, can achieve approximately 8 to 10% additional cost saving. So this is the result of a survey of hundreds of companies all over the world. The good SRM and win-win approach with vendors can result in long-term cost reductions also. But don't fight with supplier. Don't plan wrong. Something can go wrong also. Now negotiate on TCO elements. See, when we buy, what is TCO? Total cost of ownership. For 3 or 5 or during some service coupon during servicing of the cars, some authorized sellers, service agents give. So it is not only the purchase cost or execution cost. These are the costs: operating cost, training cost, maintaining cost, warehousing cost, environmental, salvage value. All these are cost reduction opportunities. I can buy a machine from abroad. The Indian agent will say, or the seller from abroad will say, my price is firm, no change. But with the Indian agent, you can negotiate these AMC cost. Warranty, you can get it increased. Installation and commissioning, you can get reduced. Even the transportation cost, you can negotiate. These are the things where a few percentage points can be added. Look at this. Suppose there are 3 offers, 3 vendors, A, B, C. Top line is 27.5 lakh, 30 lakh, 32.5 lakhs. That is the basic cost. But installation, A has quoted 5%, then nil. Warranty 12 months, 36 months, 24 months. Post warranty 15, 12, 15, 10. But now, which are the areas? Suppose they are not reducing this cost, or I have only vendor A. Then what do we do? Try to reduce installation cost to 0. If you total it 3 years, okay, then A is highest, or A is second highest, C is highest, and B coming lowest, because he is giving nil installation, warranty is 36 months. So if you are negotiating with A, try to reduce this to 0. Try to increase warranty to 36 months or 24 months. Try AMC 12% to increase to 15%. Try for 10% post warranty AMC. Spares, try to get free. Training, try to get free. So these are the areas in red color mark where you should attack And here you can get 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 up to 10% reduction in the total value. So this is the total running cost for your 3-year period. I hope it is understood. तो इधर भी पैराडाइम शिफ्ट है हमारा कि हम फोकस करते हैं, अरे ये वेंडर तो प्राइस कम नहीं कर रहा है, प्राइस नहीं कम कर रहा है मेन मशीन का, ठीक है, अगर वो नहीं करता है या he is a monopoly supplier, then try to attack in these areas where you will find that they are very effective. So negotiate on TCO elements. In some cases, negotiation saving may occur only in non-price cost elements, that AMC, warranty, etc., installation, commissioning, transportation cost. So that's what you should do. Very useful in monopoly cases. Then strategize as per table. So I had told you, you have to set the limits, budget. So what is a negotiable item? You prioritize whether the price is priority, delivery is priority, warranty is priority. क्या चीज priority है आपका? वो one priority wise डाल दीजिए. Suppose price is 80. Price is your maximum limit is budget is 100. But if you get in 80, you will be happy. Your boss will be happy. Your company will be happy. But most likely will be in this in between. Similarly, 6 weeks is your delivery time. If you get early, you are comfortable. Payment 50% is your upper limit with bank guarantee. But suppose you get 10% advance, that will be extremely happy. But practically, you may negotiate in between. So this is the lowest limit. This is the highest limit. Practically, you will try to negotiate. So try to make a structured table before negotiation so that you know what is your range of value. Then review vendors' past performance. Leverage your strength and vendors' weaknesses. A little psychological pressure or vendor can help in negotiation. The deliveries or service. There have been quality issues, short supply, breakdown, poor document discipline, unsafe behavior, bad financial position, poor order book, labor, legal cases. So in case vendor's performance has not been good, a slight aggressiveness can help you negotiate it better. So aggressiveness is not good, but slight aggressiveness without shouting or attacking him, but pointing out the past data of his poor performance can help you put the psychological pressure on the plan. So with this, we will do a group. I hope you have all got the Word file which I have shared on role play. Have you all got? Quickly बताइए, अभी time नहीं है.
Yes, we got what you have shared already.
So now I want 2 buyers and 2 sellers. Is Gaurang or Parimal there? Or
Yes,
Pallavi
sir.
there?
Yes, sir.
So can you make two
Breakup rooms? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
How much time will it take?
Sir, maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, but do you know? Do you want the names also, though, who will be sitting there?
Right, sir.
Okay, so let us first select the two buyers. Who want to be buyers? Quickly tell me. Take initiative and tell me. I want 2 buyers and 2 vendors. Vaibhav has not received the Word file. Pallavi, can you look at it? Pallavi?
Yes, sir. Please allow us a minute. We'll create 2 rooms.
No, rooms are, I am saying Vaibhav Chavan has put a message that he has not received the Word file.
Okay, sir. We'll upload in the chat box into.
We have not also received the Word file.
We have not emailed to the participants. We are going to just upload it on the chat right now.
You should have sent to them. I told you sent to them beforehand.
Sir, we
Now
didn't
we-
had all the email IDs, no? That is why we'll upload it just now.
Because now we'll lose time. अच्छा कौन बाहर गया है जल्दी से बताइए भाई. Come on quickly. नहीं तो if you are not telling, then I will assign from my side.
You assigned. You assigned.
Okay. Okay, then two buyers will be from Chennai International. Now Prabhakaran, Mathu and Manikandan, उनमें से कौन रहेगा? Or all three of you can be in one room, one breakout room. So Pallavi, please note. Okay. All three participants of Chennai International Terminal will be in one breakout room.
Give us 2 minutes, sir. We'll just create rooms.
Okay. And the two people from data pattern, Shivaram Krishnan and Vasudevan, will be the vendors. Chennai Petroleum, Chennai International people have got the word file.
So
Quickly
not
tell me.
getting. I'm
Huh?
not getting, sir.
You have not got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, we have not any word file, sir.
Huh? Who has got word file?
Just sent by mail. It is sent by mail or just set?
ये गड़बड़ है. Now I can't complete this exercise. If it is not shared, then I can't complete. कौन है GCM से कौन? Is Gaurang there or Parimal there? Is it Parimal?
Sir, you have to give us 5 minutes. We are just uploading the application. It will take another 2 to 3 minutes.
Should have done earlier, ना? हमारा time extend हो जाएगा फिर. Mr. Manikandan, Mathu and Prabhakaran can go through that word file and be ready with their strategy in another 5 minutes. Okay. And sensitivity is to help each other in need of emergency. Many a times you must have seen that sometimes the supplier is in emergency and many times we are in emergency. So can you recall an incident when supplier helped you in emergency? Or can you recall an incident when you have helped supplier in emergency? So supplier many times helps us in emergency. Suppose my MD is going abroad. He wants a particular laptop or a particular phone. Okay. And without placing a formal order, supplier is ready to supply in one day. He is ready to help us in emergency. Similarly, whenever supplier is in need, are we ready to help? The case study next after some time will reveal that. What is sensibility and sensitivity? Sensitivity is understanding the root cause of problem and offering help and solution to the supplier. Then arrange to release some of the outstanding payments. Okay, if some payments have been outstanding, that will give a lot of relief. Then offer certain improved payment terms. Then doing the joint problem solving and assuring a kind of a long-term continuity contract. Increased volume if it is possible. Joint collaboration of business. Many companies have a joint collaboration, like when they are designing, they make a joint collaboration with the supplier. So they work together on that design, offer the product to the market. Similarly, it can be in the marketing of the product also. There can be a joint collaboration. Consolidating the requirements and terms and giving to the so that the supplier gets a big volume of order. Then recommendation of the supplier came to my other divisions or other units or other factories that yes, this supplier is quite good. So these are the things which are helping the supplier in a way and also promising certain potential future business. So a few case studies we will show you. This actually it has happened that when we were negotiating the AMC contract with a vendor, and when we asked for the certain discount, the vendor told me that there are 2 quarters AMC bills are pending. So how can he consider discount? And his service engineers have not been paid salaries for last 3-4 months. So this was a very dangerous situation. So what we did, we took him to the accounts officer who gave the reasons that they were busy in filing TDS or paying salaries to foreign employees, etc. Then it was explained to him that vendor service engineers have not received the salaries for last 3-4 months due to non-payment of bills. The account officer was pointedly asked how he would feel if he did not receive his own salary for 3-4 months. So this statement actually struck him and he realized the gravity of the situation. And then he said, he promised that about 80% payment will be released in next 3-4 days. So on this assurance, the vendor was able to give required discount. Similarly, for potential future business, actually it has happened while we were buying the ERP. You can just read through. So we didn't actually buy 3,000 licenses, but only gave an undertaking. And we actually, I was keeping the record. In next 3 years, we crossed 3,150 or so licenses. And we could get 45% discount, but we placed the initial order only for 300. And the next thing was the last pair. Please start.
So we will act as a supplier, right? Tech Zipper will act as a supplier.
Tech Zipper is acting as a supplier role. You have to try to get the order from your customer. Okay. You have to negotiate accordingly, and the Chennai International have to act as a buyer so that they can get, they have to negotiate so that they can get the lowest possible price, and the supplier try to get the highest possible price. Okay, start now.
Hello. Yes, sir. This is Prabharan from Chennai International Terminal.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Actually, I got a code from your end for that special purpose machine.
Yeah.
But the quarter price are in higher side. May I know the reason?
Actually, we don't think that this is the higher price. Okay. According to the present situation, the current raw materials, we have given you the best condition.
Okay, while checking market price, it's raw material cost increase up to 10% only, but your prices are in 50% hike.
This is, I think, not the correct data. If you compare the total market, presently it is around 30% is increased.
Okay.
And we have tried to negotiate all the areas. And we have given you the best price, 20% we have increased.
Okay, fine, sir. Meantime, in commissioning charges also in hike. We are ready to offer you while you come down.
Yes, commissioning also because of higher, the globally electricity cost is higher than the salary also has increased. It's all the areas, the transportation, everything is also increased. Anyway, if you can just calculate all the things, it should be go up 25% to 30%. Still have just say all the things where possibility we have used it and we have given you the best quotation.
Okay. Meantime, we get a quote from overseas also. While comparing this, you are in the higher side. When I'm comparing that forward charges and then custom duty, all those things, and come to this, you are in L2.
Yeah, that can be, it can be, you can get the higher price, but if you compare all the things like as the quality and the other things, we are very much confident that we can give you the best quality also as well as the price.
Yeah, we will not compromise with the quality. I'm speaking same spec, same spec of machines. Some get it from overseas, some vendors. If you get it down in 50% from the quoted value, and then for 5% from the installation and commissioning.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Yeah, if you get it down from the price you quoted.
How much you want to reduce?
Yeah, from the installation, ready to offer only 5% hike from our previous contract, and then machine also only 10%.
We can just, but right now it is very hard to reduce the any cost. If you can some time, then we can recheck again and we can record. But I think it is not possible right now. Still, if you give some time, you can record it and we can give you some reverse price.
If you accept means after 2 to 3 months we have same set of requirement for our other sister concern company. We will suggest you for the procurement. If you accept the price we needed, the same set of machines also required to our sister concern.
Yeah, that is okay, but I have given you all the explanation why we have increased the price. I think you will be agree with me that present the condition of the global condition, all the things, price has gone up. So we are requesting you to accept the quotation we have given to you. You accept it. Please place the order to us.
Yeah, we are aware of it. That's why I'm telling the same set of machines got a quote from overseas.
Reduce 5% from the machine quotation and the commissioning from the 2% only. This is our, I think, best price right now.
Okay. But it will not be accepted by management.
Anyway, so when we can get your final confirmation so that we can also we can start and issuing the performance invoice.
Okay, even if you're ready to provide that price means in past we have some delay.
Another thing is when you need the machines.
Sorry?
When you need to deliver the machines. That means when you require it.
Yeah, it's for a new requirement.
Yes, but
when
we need to discuss it. That means what is your delivery time?
What about your? We need it in
as it is the machine. Actually, we will supply within 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
When you require?
That much also. Within 2 to 4 weeks, it's enough.
Because I think it is almost acceptable limit. We can supply this machine as per your requirement. We just waiting for your final confirmation so that we can issue the performance invoice so that you can open the payment, see your payment.
Meantime, in our past delivery, we faced some delay.
Which shipment?
In our past.
At that time there was some issue, but that issue we have overcome, and we have purchased some new machines and everything we installed recently. And now this time I think we will not face any issue to deliver your machine on time.
Hmm. Okay, fine. Then you will come back with the revert.
Okay, so we are expecting that we will get the order.
Yeah, it means it have to meet our budget. You just record and we will check it and come back.
So I think I have already given you the revised quotation as per your requirement. I think you will evaluate and you will give me the final confirmation to issue the PI.
Yeah, even that may also in a higher side. How to check with the management.
I don't think that is the higher side. We have recheck all the things wherever we can reduce it. We already reduce it, and I think we will get the order from you.
So since it's in higher side only, how to check because you couldn't come back with a much more discount.
I didn't think our price is high. I think
Okay,
it is a
from your side
reasonable.
it's not a higher, but as a buyer it's higher only. It's in higher end only. Or else I have to go with overseas only. The same set of lead time and then payment terms. Even I could pay with customs duty and then forward charges.
Basically, you are looking for the discounting from us. But, we are completely concerning on quality and services. And if you want to get the discount from us, then we have to adjust it with our quality. But you can check with others. You may get it lower quote from other also, but we have a very good name and fame of our goods and machineries. So you have to pay this 1 or 2% less than other due to our fame and our good quality.
Okay. Meantime, we also get the same set of spec from overseas. There will be no compromising with the quality. Same set of spec.
Yeah, basically you can check with your other companies, HNI, 2 or 3 companies already doing business with us for a long time, and we did it completely with tremendous way. And basically with them we have a identical spec of our prices and quality. So that we are not going to negotiate much more, but we are offering you 2% less because of doing and starting our new business with you. And
when compared with the price means you are in a higher end only. In this situation, we couldn't offer you.
Just 2-3 minutes more now. Please try to conclude. If not, then do it.
You have to come down prices, sir, or else we couldn't provide offer.
Say what we can say. Please place the first order to us. You see all the things, our quality, service, everything. If in future, if you take more machines or anything from us, we will see how much we can reduce more. But for first
order, we already did some business. It's not a first order. We already did it. We already did some business.
Basically, it's another way. That is, our machine has the higher productivity than others. You can use low material to produce more goods. Okay, so it has the more capacity. Capacity means it has the longevity, and it will give you long time services. The depreciation rate will be too much low than others, so that you can adjust this higher price with this appreciation. You will have to give the depreciation percentage less than others. Okay, you have to calculate it in monetary way. This depreciation you have to compare it with this company because we have a less depreciation, but you can use longevity is high.
Yeah, already we have both set of machines. One which is getting from your end, and another one is from overseas. Both have same performance.
We have introduced some few parameters here also. Electricity consumption is rating low than previous machines. Okay, so there's 2 or 3 parameters you can use as a cost saving here.
Yeah, there may also have some updates.
So
How to come down for the prices?
you are asking only the come down prices. You are not looking the other parameters. We are just assuring you the other parameters so that you can adjust all the price, compare the price and the parameters, so that it is also big save from your side. I think you will agree that all the parameters and the price you compare, you will
Yeah,
benefit.
we got an upload from our technical end. Both have a same spec and then same performance. You will
So
not
your,
compromise with
another supplier is where stated, is that China?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so you can get it from Bangladesh by using low transportation cost. We can send it to you by road also, and it will take low cost here also. And if there any problem arise to get the say, if there any problem arises with the machineries, you can get the help from us within 45 minutes. Our mechanic will go there and they will give you the after service sales service also. We can offer you this also because we are doing long lasted business.
Okay, fine. Finally, you couldn't come back prices, right?
I hope all these parameters convinced you to get our asking price.
Okay, then we will ready to provide a revised price as per revised quote. Coming to payment terms, we will offer you a 20% along with the PO, and then 50% against delivery, and balance against installation.
We need 30% advance first.
Yeah, it's terms. We are asking. We already gave you a price, whatever we quoted in a revised. You have to compromise with the terms. You have to adjust with our terms policy. We need to offer 20% along with the PO and then 50% with delivery and balance against the commissioning.
You balance 30% after delivery.
Commissioning, yeah.
No, so we can accept the 20% advance and balance. You need to make the payment during the delivery time.
But your quota terms is 10% on commissioning only, right?
10% commission is right now is not possible because of
I already agree with your price. Okay.
Time of PO, but you have to manage rest at the time of delivery because the world is completely unstable. So we are doing on to you for the 20%, and you have to do honor with us for the 70% at the time of delivery because we have to close down the transaction here, deal here.
He could not be accepted. Our management too, because earlier also we have faced some delivery time delayed.
No, you know that I have already explained that the issue is not again. We will fast this time because of we have installed new machines to produce it quickly. So all the things I think it will not repeat again. I think we are satisfied.
Yeah. That's why you have to adjust with terms. I don't know how to compromise my management because yearly we have some impact. They may also aware of it. That's why I have to adjust with your terms. If you come with the terms means I will go ahead with my management and got approval easily.
We can give only the 5% and 95%, 30% you will be in advance and 65%. 65% before delivery, 5% you can pay on the commissioning. That as you are existing our customers, so we can accept this much payment for the commissioning time.
Okay, you please close it now.
Okay.
Otherwise, you call each other tomorrow and discuss.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So, friends, I hope it was quite interesting. It becomes very interesting during the classroom training, but here, of course, that fun is missing. And anyway, but I must congratulate both the teams that they have done it quite a good justice to their own roles. And it is practical, that in 15 minutes, such a 60-65 lakhs deal cannot be done. Okay. So it is just to give a feel as to how and to the participants, how we should negotiate, but keeping in mind the learnings of today. That is the ZOPA, Zone of Possible Agreement. Okay. And PCO, which I just mentioned some time back, that like reducing the commissioning cost or the transportation cost or even the AMC or warranty, etc. These should be more focused, because if the supplier is adamant on the basic price of the machine, then we must insist on that. And second very important point which I feel is the past performance of the supplier. I would have liked if the buyers would have put more psychological pressure on the supplier in the beginning itself. If I am there, I will say that I have called you just because we have bought it from you last time. But my MD was saying that why have you called these people who have performed not so well in the past? They have delayed and affected our production and all that. So in the beginning itself, please push them to the wall. Right? You don't have to shout. You don't have to show your, you don't have to show your anger. But by certain statements, your performance was not satisfactory like last time. You are psychologically putting pressure in the beginning of the meeting itself, so that he's back to the wall, and then he may offer you something. Because it has happened. I have tried it many times and it works sometimes. Anyway, it was a good experience. Would anyone would like to speak or comment on this role play? Any participants out of 15? Anyone can speak, just for 1 or 2 minutes. And then I will go to my last last slides. It will take about 10-15 minutes.
Sir, I feel that they could have proposed the advance payment or more advance payment and try to reduce their basic price.
Okay. That as to, based on the today's learning, how we can apply it in day-to-day application. So thank you all, and I must thank both the teams that they did it quite well. Very good, and we must clap for them. Good. Thank you very much. So now we proceed to our last few slides. Yes, somebody was saying something. Last few slides I will quickly go through now, because we have already crossed our time limit. Yeah. So now I am going to the zero-based costing is my 6th negotiation technique. Now, what is zero-based costing and should costing? You must have heard, we do not know what is the exact costing of any particular item or material, but you can know only if you have the drawings or specification, then you can estimate. I don't know whether you have heard about zero-based costing or not. You must have heard about zero-based budgeting. See, sometimes what happens that suppose a departmental budget is being presented for a financial year, And our MD says, this year I want zero-based costing. So normally what happens in a budgeting exercise, what we people do, we take the share budget figures and the actual expenses figures and then try to escalate it by the inflation of say 5% or 10% and then present the next year's budget. But this year my MD says, no, that is not acceptable. I want zero-based budget. That means you start from the scratch. Calculate each item price, what it should be. So in procurement also, we have similarly a zero-based costing. Now, what is zero-based costing? It's a material cost, provided you have drawings and specs. You can calculate the material cost because material is known. So the raw material you can know. The raw material rate is known. What is the material consumption is known from the drawings, from the dimensions, etc. So you calculate the material cost. What is manufacturing or labor cost? That is how much time, which machine it will take to produce. Suppose there are 1, 2, 3 stages of production. So the machine cost or the shift, machine cost per shift will give you the indication. How the machine cost per shift is known, that your industrial engineering department can give you, because that is depending on the machine cost, depreciation, power, and other overheads, etc. So industrial engineering job is to find out what this machine runs for 1 hour, how much expense it incurs. So suppose 100 components are being produced in a shift of 8 hours, and the machine cost is 800 rupees. So how much is the cost of one component? 8 rupees. Is it clear? 800 rupees per shift and 100 components you are producing. So one component cost becomes 8 rupees. Like that, you have to calculate. Similarly, another operation is there. So accordingly, you go on adding that operation to operation cost. Then there are other costs like transportation, taxation, and that. So these 3 major components put together will give you from the zero base. Zero base means you are starting from scratch. You are starting from drawing. You are starting from raw material price. You are starting from gross raw material price. But only thing is drawing and dimension and specs. But for all the items, it is not possible. For bought out items, I am buying a AC, window AC, or a split AC, or a television, or a fridge, okay, or even a lift. Then how do I calculate? That I will tell you later. So let me first conclude this. So what is, required is large, and we can work, we have the proper drawings and raw material. Material cost, how do you work out? Gross raw material, you can find out from the drawing. What is the raw material? Suppose it is a steel. What is steel price or stainless steel price? Or it is sheet, for example. So what is the size of the 8x4 sheet price in the market? Okay. So what is the gross raw material cost? Then percentage IC means inventory carrying cost. That means to supplier, if you are buying from supplier this component, the supplier has to invest on raw material. And that investment he will not get it till he gets a payment. So say assume three months time. Cycle time is 3 months. So say 1% or 1% per month. If you take that inventory carrying cost, because he must have borrowed money from the bank and then purchase raw material, produce your goods, and he will get back that money after you make the payment. So 1% per month. So in annum actually you have to add. So you have to put that total raw material cost will come here under estimate column. This is our estimate. The buyer is estimate. Similarly, manufacturing cost is based on the shift rate of the machine and how many components or how many items are being produced in a shift. So that becomes net manufacturing cost. You can add even in the material cost also rejection percentage, or here also rejection, some 2-3% rejection. So total manufacturing cost. So these two components you've got: total raw material cost, total manufacturing. There are packing, forwarding, transportation, taxes, etc. So total estimated cost. Now compare it with the vendor. So for all such items, vendor also should give you the breakup. And wherever are the differences, of course, your shift rate of machine will be different and vendor shift rate of the machine will be. But you don't consider your factory shift rate, but you consider for a similar machine, if it is in vendor's place, what is the thumb rule, or what is the in past have you given for a lathe machine, for a milling machine, or for a CNC machine, or whatever it is. You compare, and wherever is the difference, try to negotiate that. For example, raw material, you can always get the quotation of raw material from a raw material supplier and produce in front of it. Okay, this is the raw material rate. उसके ऊपर में आप 1-2% आपका ओवरहेड ऐड कर दीजिए. Now, so then you negotiate and arrive at final price. Now, revision 1, revision 2, what is this? See, normally what happens, the manufacturing cost is dependent on the machine cost, overhead cost, and minimum wages cost and all that. So that doesn't change so frequently, but the raw material cost can change in 6 months. So suppose after 6 months, the raw material cost has increased by 10%. So the manufacturing component remains constant, but the raw material cost, you put the new raw material rate and recalculate revised cost. Now, after 6 months, you can go for a revision. Now, some people were asking in the morning that prices get revised. So if you have a drawing and a specs, this is one way how to arrive at a revised cost. And the other way, I will come back about costing. So similarly, revision 1, revision 2, and I hope it is very clear to you. Now, the problem is, if it is an equipment like AC or lift or microwave oven or any other such item, Xerox machine, then OEM and spares, and then IT hardware and software. How do I calculate the exact cost, or should cost we call it? But I don't have drawings. It is a proprietary item of the vendor or the OEM manufacturer. How to apply the should cost or the zero-based costing? I cannot apply. So in such cases, what is to be done? It may not be possible to apply normal tools and techniques of costing in these cases, as the design, drawing, and other details are proprietary. Nobody will share. Motor ke andar mein what are the components? I don't know. AC ke andar mein kya hai? I don't know. So how do you negotiate the price here? And you have to get competitive costs. What is the solution? What is the alternative? You have to get the semiconductor cost, conductor cost prices from India, from various manufacturers or abroad, compare them and show them to the vendor that this is the cost I am selling. Until unless they hand together multiple suppliers, if the prices are increasing of semiconductors, then it will increase for every supplier, and you have no other alternative except your ability to negotiate. That's all. So if the prices have gone up, it is gone up for everybody. You can't help it.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, boliye.
Sir, how to reduce advance TT payment?
Advance payment.
Advance payment. Move on other payment terms like DP, DA.
Negotiation, आपका negotiation के ऊपर में है ना. See, I will tell you, no deal
Can you suggest any other alternative option by any
Or other alternative of what? Alternative to what? To advance payment.
to advance payment.
What he wants to know that if you make the advance payment, there is a lots of the risk. Supplier may not supply the goods on time. Maybe they will not supply.
Then you should persuade him for bank guarantee.
Then sometimes after getting payment, they delay the shipments. Maybe the wood supply, it will be a quality issue, and then after that they are not replying or solving the issue. Lots of the problem we are facing.
देखो भाई पहला चीज मैं बताऊं आपको. If you are facing any issue, the best thing is that if it is a new supplier, you please assess the supplier properly. In the beginning, before giving him trial order or before giving him any order, make your assessment. His financial position, his technical position, how he has been supplying to other customers. Try to get some confidential feedback from other customers. It is possible. If you have got the list of customers, their vendors' customers, please write to them. We used to write. We had a system. We had a format. See, how is this supplier with respect to quality, delivery, and of course, they will not reveal the price, quality, delivery, and service. Try to get the feedback. You will get the feedback from their customers so that you can judge him. Then your own assessment, visit them, see some of their orders they have executed. Who are their customers? Are they getting repeat orders? These are all proactive actions. इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ that assessment of the supplier is very, very essential. If you have assessed them, and you can give a rating also there. Let there be a team of 3 people who should assess them in technical, financial, managerial, maybe the processes like ISO, ERP, and statutory requirements, etc. Number of orders. So you can rating. That rating will be given by your team.
Sir, another question is in
let me complete now. Let me complete now.
Okay.
No, then ask me. So you make a assessment rating, average of 3 people, and if it is coming, say, above 70, then this vendor is good. He is rated quite good in almost all the categories. If he is coming below 70, don't consider it. This is an ISO requirement, and we had in some divisions had this kind of rating system. So it is not that very subjective rating is being given. It's very objective way. That's why I'm telling the average of 3 people. 3 people, what are these 3 people? Purchase man, a technical man, and if possible a financial man. So that proper assessment of the supplier is done. And we have done for big projects, or any quality issue, please enforce penalty. Please do clauses by your risk management committee. For a major or critical order, it should be vetted by your risk management committee. Your legal, commercial, and finance people and technical, they must, for all your large orders, they must vet the contract copy, the contract terms and conditions, so that in any case of wrong supply, delayed supply, or not honoring the commitment by the supplier, the suitable safeguard clauses are put. This is also comes under, if you attend my contract management training, this is vendor assessment, contractor assessment, and drafting of the proper drafting of the contractor. These are again the proactive steps. ये 2 चीज आप करेंगे ना, तो आपको बाद में कोई dispute नहीं होगा, vendor से झगड़ा नहीं होगा, कम हो जाएगा chances. And if you don't do this, then you will face problem. there will be disputes with the vendor. If your drafting is not proper, if you have not assessed the vendor properly, धोखेबाज निकला क्यों? क्योंकि आपने assess नहीं किया बराबर. हाँ बोलिए, अभी somebody else was asking. बोलिए. Yeah. No, don't ask me this question because it varies from industry to industry. Some people believe, and some people still after TQM, some people still believe in just in time. Some people do not believe in just in time. Some people say no, just in time is dangerous. We must keep certain optimal inventory. Some people, some industries, they want to play very, very safe. So they may still keep, नहीं, हमको प्रॉब्लम हुआ है पास्ट में तो हमको 6 महीने 8 महीने 10 महीने का इन्वेंटरी रखना चाहिए. So it varies. It's your management who has to take a call. Okay. And even if an advisor or consultant will give you advice, unless he has studied your entire system of working and requirements, what are the kinds of raw materials, what are their delivery timings, okay, how many monopoly suppliers are there, how many regular suppliers are there, it all depends. For monopoly supplier, definitely you need to have sufficient stock of the system, as Mr. Krajik has recommended. For your C category and bottleneck items, he recommends that where your contribution, where your value is not very high, you can spend on some excess inventory. There is no problem. So it varies. There is no thumb rule. There is no rule or formula that this should be the inventory turnover. It depends from industry to industry. Maybe for a chemical industry, it could be different. For a mechanical, it could be different. For a machinery, capital intensive industry, it could be different. So it varies. Okay, any more questions? Thank you. So I hope you're enjoyed, and I wish and hope that some of the things which you have learned today, you will be able to apply in future. And any more subjects where you want to be trained, contract management, negotiation, especially monopoly supply negotiation, inventory and warehouse management, procurement fraud, ISO 9000 for procurement, all these topics, you can tell GCM and we can arrange a training. Anything related with supply chain, and also TQM, because I have taken more than 100 sessions on TQM awareness program. So anything on TQM related with just in time, lean system, Six Sigma system, 5S, Kaizen, VSM, value stream mapping, all these topics I have taken sessions.
Sir, thank you, sir. I have one question, sir. Can we get the PPT that you, sir, explain?
No, you will get in PDF form. You will get PPT, all theoretical slides. जो भी मैंने present किया है, एक पेज में 2 स्लाइड होगा, ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट होगा, उसमें कार्टून नहीं होगा, पिक्चर नहीं होगा, कलर नहीं होगा. Because if that is shared, that is a very big file. So I always convert it to PDF और आपको 1-2 दिन में हम CM को भेज देंगे, वो आपको मेल करेंगे.
ठीक है, thank you. Thanks for sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you all.
Yes, on behalf of entire G4 team and the delegates present, I thank our esteemed speaker, Mr. Rajkumar Sheth, for sharing their valuable knowledge and inputs in helping us learn better. Also, I'd like to extend many thanks to all the delegates for taking their time out from their busy lives. I just request all the participants to please log out from the respective portals, and we will be keep updating with our forthcoming events, and we will be sharing the soft copy of this presentation maybe by tomorrow. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, all the best.
Participants.
Thank you.